to welcome you to this course, ECO 103, titled Microeconomic Environment. We will be looking at the microeconomic environment as it relates to Nigeria and the global market. We'll be looking at the basic concepts of scarcity, comparative advantage, demand and supply. We want to understand what relates to the Nigerian and global market. We want to look at the microeconomic factors that affect the different types of businesses in Nigeria. Also, we'll be looking at microeconomic policy goals and objectives and the variables that operate in the microeconomic world. And then we look at the gross domestic product, the unemployment rate, and the inflation rate within the Nigerian system and the global environment. I welcome you to this course. I believe we're going to have a good time. And your course facilitator is ODLRI. Thank you.
The objective of this course: as a student, you are expected to understand the basic economic concepts such as scarcity, choice, comparative advantage, and measurement concepts such as the gross domestic product, consumption, investment, unemployment, and inflation. Understand the macroeconomics as it relates to the Nigerian and global business environment, and be able to explain how the macroeconomic environment factors affect different types of businesses. The first lesson for this course is the basic economic concepts. In this lesson today, we'll be defining macroeconomics and the basic economic concepts: scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost, production of possibility curves, comparative advantage, specialization, and exchange, and demand and supply. First of all, we'll be considering various definitions of economists by great economists. Alfred Marshall, in his book Principles of Economics, says economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. Harper says economics is a social science that analyzes the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. Mike Bloor defines economics as a branch of social science that deals with the production and distribution and consumption of goods and services and their management. He believes that Samuelson believes that economics is the study of how societies use scarce resources to produce valuable commodities and distribute them among different people, while Rutherford opined that economics is a study of the economy. Macroeconomics studies a nation or the world's economy as a whole using data about inflation, unemployment, and industrial production to understand the past and predict the future. We will be looking at all this in relation to the business world. We believe that in this course you will learn so much. Taking our clue from the fact that economics is customary divided into two, the micro and the macroeconomics. They are the two main branches of economics. We need to know the difference between them. While microeconomics is the study of economics at an individual, group, or company level, micro, on the other hand, is a study of a national economy as a whole. To put it in a simpler form, microeconomics focuses on issues that affect individuals and companies, while macroeconomics involves the study of aggregate factors such as employment, inflation, gross domestic products, and evaluating how they influence the economy as a whole. The Economic Times also defined economics as the branch of macroeconomics as the branch of economics that studies the behavior and performance of an economy as a whole. It focuses on aggregate changes in the economy such as unemployment, graduate rate, growth, domestic product, and inflation. We'll be looking at basic economic concepts in this lesson, as I earlier said. The three basic economic concepts are scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. We'll be discussing this lesson to help form the foundation of economic thinking and reasoning. Scarcity. What do we mean by scarcity? Scarcity is a condition that exists when there is not enough resources to satisfy all the wants of individuals or society. In economics, scarcity is defined as the condition of limited resources, where society does not have sufficient resources to produce enough to fulfill substantive wants. Alternatively, scarcity implies that not all of society's goals can be attained at the same time, so that trade-offs are made of one's goals against others. Choice, the decision individuals make, and the society about the use of scarce resources. Because of scarcity, choice must be made. Making a choice involves a trade-off. That is, you choose one and you leave the other. Opportunity cost is the highest valued alternative that is given up when a choice is made. I have a figure on this showing that before you even talk about scarcity, the reason for scarcity is because there are limited resources, lands, labor, capital, enterprises. Limited resources and limited wants creates an economic problem. And to solve that economic problem, you have to make choices. And in making those choices, opportunity cost is the next best alternative given up by choosing another item. And economics factors of production are scarce. They cannot produce an unlimited quantity of goods and services for people. The production possibility curves. Comparative advantage, demand, supply, market equilibrium are other basic economic concepts we'll be looking at. A production possibility curve is a model of two good economy by mapping production of one goods on the x-axis and production of the other goods on the y-axis. The combination of outputs produced using the best technology and all available resources make up the production possibility curve. This curve shows the combination of two goods an economy is capable of producing. If you look at the Nigerian economy, we are capable of producing two goods. In our discussion forum, we'll be asking ourselves to mention the two goods that we produce in the Nigerian economy. Comparative advantage. Comparative advantage is an economic term referring to the economy's ability to produce goods and services at a lower opportunity cost than trade partners. This is when a country produces a goods or service for a lower opportunity cost than other countries. It measures a trade-off. For example, all producing nations have comparative advantage in some chemicals globally. Also, we'll be discussing that in our discussion forum. We have the next concept, demand. Demand is a basic economic concept. Before we can talk about demand, supply, and market equilibrium, we want to ask ourselves, what is a market? A market is a group of buyers and sellers of a particular product or services. As long as you have buyers and sellers, there is a market. No matter where trading happens, whether trading happens or not, buyers are a group determines the demand to purchase a good or a service, while sellers as a group determines the supply of goods to produce that good or service. What is demand? Demand in economics is the consumer's desire and ability to purchase a service or a product. The law of demand governs the relationship between the quantity demanded and the price. The law of demand formally states that ceteris paribus, the quantity demanded for a price of services is dependent on the price. Demand is an economic term that refers to the amount of products or services that consumers wish to purchase at any given price level. Demand curves. We have the demand curves, which is used to show the relationship between quantity and price in aggregate terms. There are different types of demand. In this basic concept, we'll be looking at 5 types of demand: individual and market demand, organization and industrial demand, autonomous and derived demand, demand for perishable and durable goods, and short-term and long-term demand. Supply. Supply is a fundamental economic concept describing the total amount of specific goods and services that is available for a consumer. When we put supply and demand together, we have the market equilibrium. The market equilibrium shows where supply in the market is equal to the demand in the market. Thank you for this course. See you in the next class.